practical. To ensure a seamless experience for everyone, I have just a few brief housekeeping points. Please keep your microphones muted to maintain our audio quality. We encourage you to use the chat actively for your reflections and questions. Do stay with us until the conclusion, as we will be sharing an exclusive takeaway resource designed for your continued growth. Now, to take us into the heart of today's session, let's welcome our facilitator, Pushpa Pant. Pushpa Pant, a certified soft skills and public speaking trainer with over a decade of experience in education. She began as a freelance trainer and has since transitioned fully into training, helping individuals excel in corporate environments with her practical, hands on approach.
Uh, Thank you, Megha. I'm excited to share the stage with Megha. Megha is an experienced educator, soft skills trainer, and a career coach with over 2 decades of experience. She has conducted numerous corporate webinars and training sessions, empowering professionals with confident communication, clarity, and career direction. Megha brings practical insights along with genuine empathy, helping learners grow both professionally and personally. I'm really looking forward to the value she will bring to today's session. And before we begin, let's understand this is not about some boss bashing session, it's about strengthening your influence. We are here to share some practical tools and not complain. And this is a safe space. What's shared here stays here. Over to you, Megha.
Thank you, Pushpa. Thank you very much. Now, before we go deeper into today's topic, let's energize ourselves with a quick activity and see how well you can identify a voice without any visuals. I'm going to play a few short audio clips. These are voices of well known personalities. Your task is simple. Just listen carefully and identify who the voice belongs to. No visuals, no hints, only your listening skills and perception. I will play each audio clip twice. Listen closely, and if you recognize the voice, quickly use the hand raise icon. Let's begin. I'm going to play the first audio for you. Please listen carefully.
Every girl needs to be financially independent. So you're not just someone's wife or someone's daughter or someone's sister. Your identity will be defined by your ability to be independent. And that comes with finance in the world that we live today.
I will play the audio once again.
There's a response from Sheila.
Such a quick response, Sheila. You are very correct. She's Priyanka Chopra. Very well done. Very well done. Let's have the next audio and let's see who is going to grab it. The first opportunity.
Railways and roads were really built to serve British interests and not those of the local people. But I might add that many countries have built railways and roads without having had to be colonized in order to do so.
Yes, Sujata.
Yes, Shashi Tharoor, I guess.
Yes, Sheila and Sujata, both of you are right. It's Shashi Tharoor. You are very correct. Okay, let's have the next one. Listen carefully.
I might be a CEO today and I love the job, I love where I am, but I will tell you, if I had to write a letter to myself as a younger person, I'd say, be careful about all the choices you're making.
Are you able to identify?
I might be
or you want me to play the audio once again?
Can you play again?
Yeah, I will.
CEO today and I love the job, I love where I am, but I will tell you, if I had to write a letter to myself as a younger person, I'd say, be careful about all the choices you're
Let's have a next audio clip.
The journey starts from your heart, then you can go all the way. But the journey starts from your brain and the calculations come into play. You start looking at your bank balance. Then you're going to find it difficult.
Is it easy to identify, or should I play the audio once again?
I think you should play.
The journey starts from your heart, then you can go all the way. But the journey starts from your brain and the calculations come into play. You start looking at your bank balance. Then you're going to find it difficult.
I have heard this voice, but I'm confused.
Okay, again a hint for you all. He is one of the best cricket players.
Sachin.
Yes, please repeat.
Sachin Tendulkar.
Sachin Tendulkar.
Yes, very well done. Very well done. Is Sachin Tendulkar. Let's have the next one quickly.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have a problem if I speak? There's nothing about wowing here. I'm sorry, I take objection to that, Honorable Speaker, sir. Oh, thank you very much. The person who's mercurial in this house tells me not to be excited. I take your point.
Nirmala Sitharaman.
She is our finance minister.
Very correct. Very correct. Very well done. Let's have the last clip over here.
Do well in your life and you've achieved every material gain that you want, which you should. Please don't give up on that. Don't become a philosopher before you become rich.
Can I?
Yes,
Who would you like to give chance?
anyone can.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yes, you are right. It's Shah Rukh Khan. Very correct. Very well done. And great participation. I am glad to see such attentive listeners in the room. Have you noticed something interesting just now? You didn't see the person over here. You only heard the voice, and yet you made assumptions. Yes? Somewhere accurate and somewhere not. In the workplace, we often do the same thing with our bosses. We hear a tone, we see one reaction, we experience one behavior, and we quickly label micromanager, difficult, always critical, unavailable, something like this. But just like this, in this activity, whatever we did, what we hear is only part of the picture. We interpret based on our perception. That's exactly why this session matters. Before we manage up, we must first manage our perceptions. Now, let me quickly walk you through what we are going to explore today. We will start by understanding why managing up feels uncomfortable for most professionals, such as why certain boss behaviors trigger stress almost instantly. Then we will look at real corporate situations, the everyday moments where things usually go wrong. Not theory, real conversations, real pressure. From there, we will decode difficult behavior. So instead of personalizing it, we start understanding what's really happening behind the scenes. We will also work on shifting from emotional reaction to strategic response because that shift changes everything. And most importantly, we will share practical communication tools and ready to use lines that you can apply right away. The goal is simple: reduce stress by increasing clarity, control, and influence. Now that you have a sense of what we will be covering, let's begin with something fundamental. When we say managing up, working with demanding bosses without stress, we are not talking about controlling your boss. Managing up means learning how to work effectively with your manager. It's a request to every one of you. Please keep yourself on mute because there is somewhat disturbance over here. Thank you. So, as I was saying, managing up means learning how to work effectively with your manager, especially when the style feels demanding, unclear, critical, or unpredictable. It's the ability to understand their expectation, communicate strategically, and create clarity, even when the situation feels uncomfortable. But if managing up is about clarity and influence, why does it feel so difficult in real life? A big reason is power imbalance. Your manager evaluates you. They influence appraisals, visibility, opportunities. So even a simple conversation can feel loaded. There's also the fear of being judged. Many professionals hesitate to ask questions because they don't want to appear incapable or unsure. So instead of clarifying, they stay silent. We also tend to avoid difficult conversations. Rather than saying, I need more clarity, we try to manage silently. And that silence slowly builds stress. Even lack of clarity plays a huge role here. When expectations aren't clearly defined, the mind fills the gaps and it rarely fills them positively. And then there are emotional triggers too. Sometimes it's not the task that bothers us, it's the tone, the timing, or the way something is said. Which brings us to a very simple but powerful insight. Stress increases when clarity decreases. The more unclear the expectation, the more stressful the situation. The more clarity you create, the more control you regain. And how we respond in these moments determines the kind of professional we become. To help you to help us understand this difference better, Pushpa will now walk us through it. Over to Pushpa.
Thank you, Megha. And now I want to set the stage with something we all have experienced. When pressure shows up at work, people usually fall into two patterns. Sometimes we go reactive, we defend, emotions rise, clarity comes late, and it turns into a complaint mode. And other times we take a more strategic path. We pause, ask clarifying questions, frame options, confirm priorities, and cut down the ambiguity. Now, dear audience, I would like to know from you, if you think you tend to become more reactive, type R in the chat, and if you lean to strategic type S. What is your response when there is work pressure? You tend to become reactive or you tend to become strategic? Type your response just by typing R or S. So we have got one S from Sujata. Good to know you become strategic. Okay, there's R also. Sheila has selected R, that she's reactive at times. Can we have more responses? I think we are more in number. Shivalli, could you please share yours?
I'm not getting chat option. My option is yes. I'm not able to type here.
So your option is S.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm not okay. So we have a mix of R's and S. And that's exactly what happens in real life. We shift between both. At times we are reactive, at times we are strategic. Keeping that in mind, let's walk through this moment. Don't judge the employee, just notice what happens to stress. So we have a situation here. If you can see on the screen, there's a situation described. Your boss gives vague instructions, says ASAP, and then changes the expectations midway. What do you think? Has this happened to you ever? Yes, no. Is this real? Do you face such situations when
It's very awkward.
Yes,
it is very awkward? So that means this is real. All right. So let's bring this to life. I would like to have two volunteers here, one to play a boss and one to act as an employee. Let's see who's up. Can we also have the next slide, please? So there is one situation over here. I would like two volunteers, one to act as boss and the other to enact as employee. All right, Sujata, yes, please.
Yeah.
Sujata, since you have dropped in first, I think you have a choice to take.
Okay, so like it needs two people. So one is boss and one is employee.
Okay. Yeah, there's one more participant.
Anya, Sheila.
Oh, Sheila. Hi. So, Sujata, would you like to act as boss or employee?
Anything will do. Sheila,
Okay.
you take the choice.
Go ahead, Sujata.
Okay.
Be the boss.
Let's
So
be the
Sujata
boss.
is boss, and if
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, Sheila is
Yeah.
employee. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Please go ahead, and just be natural. You don't
Okay.
have to be perfect.
Yes. Okay. So, shall we start?
Yes.
Okay. I need the client report ASAP.
ASAP? I'm already working on 3 things.
Oh, well, this just became urgent.
But you didn't mention this earlier, and the instructions aren't clear.
I need solutions, not complaints.
Fine, I'll try.
Oh, well done. That sounded so natural.
We got the chance to act.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's reflect on this. Can we have the next slide? So, dear audience, I would like to know from you what went up here, the stress or the clarity?
I think the stress.
It was obvious. The stress went up. And what could have been done differently? What was missing here?
The tone, probably.
The tone, right?
Here is completely missing crystal clear communication from both the sides. That is from top to bottom as well as from bottom to top.
Perfect. The clarity is missing. So here the stress increased because the clarity decreased. Now, I would like to play the same situation, but this time let's upgrade the response. Again, if I can have two volunteers. Someone who has not participated. I don't mind playing one role if nobody, the second person, if the second person is not there.
Can we ask
Ashwin, Jasmine?
Yes, if you could.
Anyone?
Yes, as Shrivali is somewhere out, so she. Yes, Jasmine, will you?
Jasmine, can we? I don't mind the employee here if you're ready to enact this course. Can we have the next slide, Megha?
Yes.
Okay, means I am playing a boss now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. I need the client report as soon as possible.
So, what's the top priority would you like to be highlighted?
The revenue growth numbers.
Understood. If this is urgent, should I pause the vendor task?
Yes, pause that.
Got it. I'll share the draft by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you, Jasmine, for that. Now, audience, did what has happened over here? Did the boss change?
No.
No. So what changed?
The tone.
The
The
communication.
tone, the communication.
Clarity.
There was more clarity. Perfect. So what we noticed over here was that there's a tone shift. Questions were asked, priorities were clarified, and then the timelines were shared. And this isn't manipulation. This is professional clarity. And now that we have explored how strategic response looks like, the pause, the clarity, the intention behind words, but we all know strategy only becomes powerful when we understand the insight behind it. And for this, we have the next slide that captures the key insights from everything we have discussed so far. The real shift that separates reactive behavior from strategic influence. Can we have the next slide? So notice the sequence over here. Clarity, control, confidence, lower stress. When you ask clear questions, the ambiguity drops. And when ambiguity drops, you feel more control. That control builds confidence. And obviously, when you're confident, the stress levels are low. So this is the sequence, and this is how managing up looks like. Obviously, you cannot control your boss, but you can control how to clarify. And that clarity will give you the control. Is it not? Do you agree? Is it or is it not? Just a thumbs up if you agree. That when you have that clarity and control, the stress level reduces. Yes, I can see lots of thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you for that acknowledgement. And now we have seen what works and what doesn't. The question is, what does this look like with your boss? So to help you reflect on this, we have Megha, who will take us into It's My Boss audit. Over to you, Megha.
Thank you, Pushpa. That was very clear distinction. Now that we have understood the difference between a reactive employee and a strategic employee, let's bring it back to ourselves. As Pushpa said, yes, this is about my boss stress audit. Now we are going to do a quick personal reflection. This is not about judging your boss. This is about analyzing your own stress pattern. This is where we move from theory to personal reflection. As Pushpa said, a reactive employee blames the situation. A strategic employee pauses and asks, what can I do differently? So let's reflect. When you say, my boss triggers me, think of that one specific situation. When do you usually feel stressed or irritated? Now think about what the real issue usually is. Is it really the person, or is it unclear instructions, last minute changes, pressure, or fear of making mistake? Then think about one question you avoid asking. Many times stress increases because we didn't ask something. What is one question you hesitate to ask your boss? Or one expectation not clarified ever? Ask yourself, what was never clearly discussed? Is it priority, deadline, standard of work, or anything else. And finally, one sentence you can use next time, because becoming strategic doesn't require a personality change. It requires a better sentence at the right moment. That moment could be deadline change, public feedback, unclear brief, priority conflict, or any such moment. Now, I want you to think of that moment. Now, take a minute and write one sentence you can use next time and share it in the chat. I'm waiting for your response. Think about that sentence which you will use next time in any such situation. Like as I discussed, it could be any priority conflict or deadline change, any. So how will you change your sentence next time? Please share it in the chat, waiting for your response. I think you're finding it difficult how you're going to change it and you're going to apply it next time in such situation. Yes.
If anyone has a chat option, they are not, because it can be that they are not able to see the chat option, then.
Or you can just unmute yourself and tell us. Yes? Yes, Jasmine? And have you got that sentence? I'm unable to hear you. You are on mute.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I was typing, but yeah, you asked me, so I am just repeating my answer. Whenever I will go to CEO office, I will not use the sentence, okay, sir, I understood all. But I will ask if I have not understood some, X, Y, Z, then I will ask him to explain me again.
Very correct. Very correct. Yes, anyone else would like to unmute? Okay, Sheila said, correct me if I understood this right. Yes, very good. Sujata says, actually, sir, I think we are at the last minute to change, which is correct. I hope you have got it. Very good. Very correct. This is how we shift from being reactive to strategic. Have you noticed something interesting over here? The sentence you just wrote or said tells a story. It tells us what kind of situation keeps repeating. So, what did you notice while you were writing it? What situation immediately came to your mind? And is there a question you have been postponing? Here's a powerful question. What are you avoiding asking? Very often, workplace stress is not because of workload, it's because of one unasked question. Maybe you are avoiding asking for priority. Maybe you're avoiding clarifying expectations, or you're avoiding saying you need more time. Avoidance feels safer in the moment, but it increases stress over time. Clarity might feel uncomfortable for a few seconds, but it reduces stress for weeks. Managing up begins the moment you decide to replace avoidance with a better question. What you just noticed is important. Managing up is not only about how you respond, it is also about understanding who you are responding to. Different boss behaviors create different stress patterns. Let's decode them. When we say difficult boss, it usually falls into certain patterns. There's the micromanager boss who needs constant updates. They check details repeatedly and struggles to let go. Then there are silent or unavailable boss who gives ownership but disappears when clarity is needed. We have always critical boss, rarely satisfied, focuses more on gaps than strengths. Then there are credit takers, visible when success happens and invisible when work is being done. And then the last minute task givers, urgent requests, shifting priorities, unexpected deadlines. Here's the important shift. Instead of labeling them as difficult, ask yourself, what might be driving them this behavior? Control, pressure, fear of failure, performance expectation from above. When you understand the pressure behind the behavior, you stop personalizing it. And that's where managing up becomes strategic, not emotional. So once we understand what might be driving the behavior, the next question becomes, how do we respond strategically? What we have just done is connect the behavior to the pressure behind it. Now let's make this practical. When you see micromanaging behavior, the likely pressure behind it is fear of mistakes. When you experience a silent or unavailable boss, they may simply be overloaded or stretched across priorities. When you deal with a credit taker, very often the driver is visibility. The need to appear in control or successful in front of senior leadership. Now, here's where managing up becomes powerful. If the pressure is fear of mistakes, your smart response is proactive updates. This reduces their uncertainty before they ask. If the pressure is overload, use structured summary emails. Make it easy for them to understand quickly. If the pressure is visibility, loop stakeholders in updates. This increases transparency so credit becomes shared and documented. Have you noticed something important? When you respond to the pressure and not the personality, you regain control. That's strategic managing up. Understanding is the first step, execution is the next. Pushpa will now take us through how to execute. Over to you.
Thank you, Megha, and that was really very powerful. Now let's move to something very practical. we have 5 tactical tools you can start using immediately. Can we have the next slide? Okay, these aren't personality tricks. These are simple structures because managing up isn't about attitude, it's about clarity. So let's start with the first tool. The first tool talks about priority check question. When you receive vague instructions, you don't guess, you ask. Check what is the priority here. Simply by asking, what's the top priority here? By applying this technique, you reduce guessing. And when guessing reduces, you become more clear. Tell me, when was the last time you assumed instead of asking? Has this happened to you that some instructions were given to you by your boss and instead of checking the priority, you just guessed or you just assumed? Has it happened? Would you like to share? Sheila, Sujata, Jasmine. Anyone would like to share any such incident where some instructions were vague or you just assume those instructions to be so and so instead of getting it clear and checking the priority? Okay, just a simple yes and no would also work.
Yes, definitely, madam.
Sorry, that you were not clear to me.
He said yes.
Okay, yes. So you need to check the priority first. And so if tool 1 talks about priority reducing guessing, the tool 2 talks about overload. The second tool is trade-off frame. Now, when everything is urgent, obviously in workplaces, everything is urgent. Nothing is clear. What you need to do is present the choices. For example, you are being assigned a task which you need to deliver by Friday. So, and you are being packed up with lot many things. What you do is you trade off. Just a simple sentence like this you can use is we can deliver by Friday if we drop the extra analysis, or we can include the extra analysis, but it will take until next Tuesday. So what are you doing over here? You're not saying no. You're just asking for direction. And this shows up ownership, not resistance. And the third tool is about pre-update strategy. It is when you proactively share the information. Micromanagers chase updates because they are anxious. So inform them prior. For example, just a heads up, the client may move the deadline forward, so I'll confirm once it is official, but I wanted you to be aware. So this is how you pre-update, and this tactical tool works very well. And now let's move on to some spoken clarity to documented clarity. The fourth tool, that is the summary email method. And this protects you. Verbal clarity disappears when written clarity protects you. Always give written clarity. Just share a sentence in email. For example, just confirming I will deliver A by 4 p.m. This reduces future conflict. And finally, the fifth tactical tool, that is calm redirect. What do you do when emotions rise? When emotions rise, don't defend, redirect. For example, I want to make sure we are aligned. What outcome are we targeting? So you're redirecting from being emotional. Notice these are some tools that helps you create some clarity. And now We have seen these tools, but these tools only work when language changes, because most workplace stress isn't about workload, it's about how we phrase things. So there is this language upgrade practice which I would like everyone to take part. You see this sentence on the screen. You keep changing instructions. Be honest, how many of us have thought this? When your boss changes priorities or give you midway updates, how many of you all think, oh, you keep changing instructions? Raise your hand. Yes, yes, I see there is a response on the screen. I think it is it happens to most of us. This statement is emotionally true, but obviously it is professionally risky. So what I want you to do is, let's upgrade this sentence without sounding defensive. Upgrade this sentence. You keep changing instructions without sounding defensive. Be professionally perfect. You can use the chat box or unmute yourself and share your responses. How can you upgrade the sentence sounding without sounding defensive? Professionally correct, but not defensive. Obviously, we can't say this statement to our boss, you keep changing instructions. We have those thoughts in our mind when we are packed with work, overloaded with work.
I will use more clarity will go better.
Oh, more clarity will go better. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine, for sharing that. Anyone else who would like to unmute and speak?
Lots of thoughts हो गए मैडम, but यहाँ पे कोई शेयर नहीं करेंगे.
Okay, so then I would like to offer some upgraded versions. So instead of saying you keep changing instructions, we can just say, I want to make sure I'm aligned. Could we confirm the final direction? Or just one more choice, that just to avoid rework, can we clarify the expected outcome? So these are some upgraded versions of the sentence that we have just looked on the screen. And you see there's no blame, no acquisition, only alignment. And let's bring everything that we have discussed so far into a simple equation. Can we have the next slide? So this is the simple equation that says when expectations are unclear, we fill those gaps with assumptions. And when assumptions grow, emotions rise. And when emotions rise without clarity, it leads to conflict. Okay, a show hand, a raise hand icon. How many of you have seen a small assumption spiral into a big misunderstanding? Not just workplace, even personal lives also. I think it might have happened when small assumptions leads to big misunderstandings. Just a raise hand, a thumbs up icon. Yeah, Megha, yes, Sheila. Yeah, it is a very common scenario when we assume things and then it leads to misunderstanding. So nowhere we say that the boss is bad or the employee is difficult. It's just the clarity problem. But what's powerful over here is when clarities are checked, when you use trade-off frame and offer options, and when you send your confirmations through verbal or emails, you create influence, isn't it? And that's how it works. So stress doesn't reduce because pressure disappears. Stress reduces because clarity increases. Managing up isn't about controlling your boss. It's about controlling the equation which is there: clarity, options, confirmation. And now, to take us deeper into how it plays out in our real conversations, I'm going to hand over it to Megha. Megha, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Pushpa. That was practical and actionable. So now the question is, what will you actually do with this coming week? Yes, we have spoken about behavior, we have decoded pressure, we have explored smart responses. But insight without action changes nothing. So let's make this personal and practical. One last time, I'm going to trouble you. Think about the coming week. What is one thing you will start doing? Or what will you stop doing? And finally, what will you continue? Managing up is not about becoming someone else, it's about refining how you respond. Take a moment, decide your one start, one stop, or one that you will continue. Because small behavior shifts create long term professional influence. And that's how stress reduces when clarity becomes intentional. Just take 30 seconds or whatever, as much time, little time, and write your one start, one stop, or one continue action next to it, whatever action you are going to do. Just write it down in the chat, or you can unmute and share it with us. Either what you are going to start, or you are going to stop or continue in the next week, coming week. Yes, please, instead of asking you to type, I can ask you to unmute yourself and share for the last time what you're going to start or stop or continue for this coming week. Sheila says, I will start being more calm. I will stop getting agitated and continue to. Okay. Continue to pay attention to instructions. Okay. What about others? Yeah. Pushpa says, we'll start seeking clarity and start assuming. Good. Anyone else would like to share? Jasmine says, I will start to ask more questions for more clarity. Good. Correct. Okay. What you just wrote or shared is really more powerful than it looks. This is how stress reduces, not because your boss changes, but because your response becomes clearer. Yes, Sujata says, okay, I will start looking for clarity and stop being. Let me check. Sorry. I missed it. Okay. And I will stop being reactive. Thank you. Thank you, Sujata, for sharing it with us. Thank you very much. Now, before we close, let's quickly capture the key takeaways from today's session. Now, I would like you to share one key takeaway which you are going to have with you from today's session. Some are there in front of you on the screen. You can either choose from there, or you may have some of your own key takeaway from today's session. Please share what is your key takeaway from today's session. 1 minute. We have some guests. Okay. Yes, please share the key takeaway. You can choose from the one which are there on the screen also. Directly, please unmute yourself. Don't get into typing it in the chat. I know it takes it's a tedious task to type it in the chat, so you can unmute yourself and share it with us. Yes, Jasmine, Sheila, Sujata, Srivalli.
All of them.
All of them. Oh, wow. Good. Pushpa says, yes, Jasmine.
Yeah, actually, madam, I don't know the audience who are here. Means in terms of experience, metrics, how many experience the people are having. But as far as all the presentation is concerned, so what the nutshell or in the crux, whenever we being a professional, be in a situation, to respond. अभी का अभी we need to respond, or boss is very demanding, or boss is, I can say, is very hard to handle. Then at the time we need to take the pause of that pause might be 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and that pause will definitely protect you a lot.
Yes.
In return. Second thing, what I want to tell ki always we need to see, or I can say, change our paradigm. Whatever the paradigm we have built in our mind, we need to change.
Yes. Yes, whatever you said is correct, and I hope all other participants will resonate with it. And I would like to read Sujata's takeaway. Pause, think, and respond after understanding the whole scenario. Thank you. Thank you, Sujata, for sharing it with us. Thank you. Anyone else would like to?
There's one response from Sheila. She says the last one is best. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. We have covered a lot today and discussed the key takeaways too. If you have any questions or clarifications, please feel free to ask. Pushpa and I will be happy to take your questions. If you have any query, clarification, please let us know. If you don't, then we can move ahead. Okay, I could see that no one has any query. So let me come to the final anchor line, which says, you may not control your boss, but you can control how you clarify, respond, and influence. A huge thank you to all the participants. Thank you for your curiosity and for learning into these honest conversations. Now, as promised, we are sending over a managing up checklist to help you turn today's insight into tomorrow's influence. While you are in the chat, do click the Atulit Academy links. That's where the conversation continues. Also, we have shared a feedback link in the chat. Please click the link and fill in the feedback, as your feedback is valuable for us. And don't forget to mark your calendar for March 7th. We will be diving into our next essential workplace skill. Don't miss the registration details coming your way shortly. And before leaving the webinar, I want you all, or I request you all, to just switch on your cameras so we can capture this moment together. Just a minute. Let me capture. Okay. Wait a minute. I could see Priyanka over there with her camera switched on. So let me just take one more picture. Thank you. Yeah. Once again, thank you to all the participants for your time, engagement, and thoughtful participation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Megha. Thanks, Pushpa.
Thank
Thank you,
Megha.
Megha, Pushpa.
Thank you, Sheila.